Hey, what's up, guys? Joker here, episode 51 of TGW, the Great 1070 debate. What's going on, Brian?
Yeah, not much, man. Just early in the morning as usual, and I'm still waking myself up for an awesome tech show.
Yeah, but you look fresh. You look fresh and chipper today.
I do.
You look.
Thanks.
You
That's
look.
that's a nice thing.
He looks fresh. He looks fresh to death. I mean, look at that. They got the hair gelled up.
That's
He's
it, bro.
already looking looking all buff.
Had a shave, yes, had a shave. I did the hair, and I gotta go to work a bit later, but might as well get the show done.
I've got.
Well,
I don't know if I don't know if you've seen it, Brian, but I'm wearing quite a nice shirt myself.
make AMD great again. So,
Yes, make them great again. There it is.
uh,
Most
there we go,
amazing
guys.
shirt of 2016. Oh man. So did you get any new tech pickups this week? Anything new you got going on?
This week, no. Actually, it's a dry week. I've just been working on all the stuff I've got here. I've just got to get through so many different builds, like just hardware piling up here. So
Yeah.
I had it piling up for like months, and then I'm like, nah, I can't buy anymore. I've just got to start doing builds and start using it. So that's what's going on at the moment. I'm really just piecing together different builds. Like, there's going to be a lot more cool builds coming out. Maybe in the next couple of months, probably not the budget builds because because I've just got other builds that I got to get through, but they'll be definitely unique. And then I'll get back on to doing some different budgets and stuff. But yeah, definitely just got to get time to do all that.
Yeah.
So, how about
Yeah.
you? About tech pickups?
I've just kind of been pounding through stuff also, like I've been testing this like laptop. I'm gonna like do this like testing against like the LAN rig and see
Yeah,
just do like a video on that kind of stuff. New
yeah.
pickups, I got a light. Here it is. It's very bright.
Okay, well I can't see because
Well, you can't see it, but the audience
Yeah.
can see it.
Okay,
But it's a light. We can have a rave.
so you got a light. That's
I
the
got
whole
I, no,
like.
I got a light, and I got this two-way attachment for the top of my camera. It's for my vlogging setup, so I have like a bright light on here for when I'm shooting on the go, and I can just get some light there. So it's like an epic setup now.
Dude, you need
I needed this because I'm going to Micro Center on like Friday morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get the 1080. So it's gonna probably be dark out there. I was like, I'm gonna need a light source, so I got this thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was gonna say you should go get like a vlogging camera, like, because I've got this for vlogging, and it's just like you don't need to plug in a mic. It's got image stabilization, so
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
I like using my mirrorless or like a DSLR type setup. I like having all the fancy stuff.
I really appreciate, like, after getting to use that, you can just zoom in so quickly. It's just like for time constraint vlogging, it's really good. So yeah, there's people saying you're a little bit quiet too. So maybe I should turn my mic
No,
down.
no, I can give myself a boost.
Just a little bit.
I had
Just a little bit.
I had turned myself down a little bit
Yeah.
because I switched back to this mic here.
Yeah.
See how that is now. Should be good.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. You're a bit louder now, so there we go. Yeah. All right.
All right, so yeah, let's get straight into the first topic. If you want, because
That was quick, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got no other news to really go over, personal news wise. At least I don't. Do you?
No, just I'm looking forward to getting more water cooling done. That's all. Like
All right.
for me, it's opened up. Like, I got to get into it. I'm loving it. Like, even though it's taking a lot of time to do, especially that last project. I've got this new addiction now. It's like, yeah, this could be dangerous. You just see me buying water blocks and all this crap motherboard blocks.
You're just gonna get into all that water cooling life.
Yeah. Nah, but that's the thing. I want to keep it budget so like anyone can sort of do it, like, and
Yeah.
not feel like, okay, I got to go out and spend $1,000 on water cooling. No, I want to do like $200 max, preferably 150. That's about, I want to get like a GPU CPU loop done for that with maybe a 360 mil rad.
Well, I'll be
So
honest. When I was watching your recent water cooling video, I was a little scared, but I was like watching you like filling it, and I was just seeing it dripping in the background. I was like, that's
yeah,
kind of. I don't think that's supposed to do that. I
nah,
don't think
it's
that's.
definitely not. That's that freaking eBay crappy clear tube I got. I was like, oh, like, after I did one little bit on it, I started doing the GPU to the CPU, and it just kinked everywhere. I was just like, this is not gonna work. So I made a decision then to just pull that off and just leave one on there just for a concept. And sure enough, when I started filling the loop, I was just like, oh my God. So I just quickly flipped it upside down, changed it out. And I'm lucky I could do that, eh? Like I didn't have to empty the whole loop. And then I was just like, yeah, change the freaking thing to engine hose, and we're all good to go.
Nice.
Yeah, GG. So,
GG. G
No,
fucking
right.
G lad.
yeah.
Well, fucking this topic is just like this first topic, man, it just came up like literally like right before we started.
Yeah, the device IDs. So
Yeah, man, the device IDs for all the Pascal cards basically for on IDA 64, so we could see like the 1080 Ti and the Titan and the 1060 even, which was a rumor just recently, which was going to be our first topic. That was a rumor that went up 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Over on it was originally from Chip Hell, and then this was just like 2 minutes ago. This went up over on WCCF Tech, which kind of confirms that rumor.
Yeah, well, that's awesome then. If we're going to be getting these cards, that means we can just hold out a little bit, I guess, if you're on a budget or whatnot. And I mean, it depends. Like, I'm actually looking forward to the 1060 this time, like as opposed to the 960 the last time. Like the 1060 looks really good on paper, especially if it's going to come in at around 200 or less.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you got 4 different families there for the consumers, and then the other family there for Tesla. So
I mean, I really want the 1080 Ti. That's what I want. It's just a matter of when are we going to actually get that? I mean, is it going to wind up coming in 6 months? Do you think it'll actually come before the end of the year?
No,
No, you don't think so?
no, may possibly. Hey, that's actually a hard call, because when you think about it, really, we've got June's when the 1080 and 1070 are really being released.
Yeah.
And so are they going to want to sell that more so, and then they're going to save that till March next year for the 1080 Ti and the new Titan?
It could do.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It sees how NVIDIA's going to write up their playbook. That's going to be interesting to see. But I think it's actually, like, I'd call that 50-50. Hey, either later at the end of the year or next year, March or something.
Yeah, I think we will see some of the more budget cards though later this year, like the 1050 and the 1060. I think we will start to see those kind of start to come out.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. I think
Yeah.
you definitely get your 1060 and hopefully a 1060 Ti.
Yep.
But yeah, so you want to
think
talk about the 1080 specs, the 1080 Ti specs? I mean,
the specs look really good on. I mean, that's why I would be most excited for that one, pretty much, because rocking 3,456 CUDA cores, which is like, bam, like jam.
yeah, that's
Like,
pretty massive.
That's a lot.
That
of
is
CUDA
pretty
cores.
good. I like the ROPS on that though. Especially if you're 4K gaming, that's going to be pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting if they're going to go with 5X as opposed to HBM2. That's the interesting play. What NVIDIA's going to do with the 1080 Ti. So it's got here.
Is it
See
really
here.
just going to be like? Is it really just going to be another Titan X though? I mean, the 12 gigabytes of video memory is going to just be like basically an amped up Titan X.
Yeah, well, I imagine they'll put 16 on that if it's the new Titan. So
Well, I mean, the 1080 Ti is what I mean. It's basically being like a ramped up Titan X.
yeah, it's interesting, eh? It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the memory. So, but this, I mean, usually a lot of these rumors, like lately, a lot of these rumors have been on point. Like they've been pretty damn accurate, eh?
Yeah, they have definitely on the 10. Yeah, leading up to the 1080 launch, there was a lot of rumors that were coming out like every day, like rumors, and then like almost pretty much all of them came true.
Yeah, pretty accurate. So, I mean, wow, if they're using 5X, a little bit of a disappointment, eh? Because you wanted to see, I know I definitely wanted to see HBM2
Yeah,
from NVIDIA. So,
yeah, definitely.
especially since they've already announced it on that top, business
that's-
grade.
I mean, everything else there like lines up as far as what I would expect to see on like a Ti and the Titan, except for that DDR5X. That I would have expected to be HBM2, like you said.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's still going to be one big card. So, see there, they've gone pretty much, 50% on everything there, 50% over the 1080 on everything. So, that's going to be one hell of a card to look out for too.
Do you think you're gonna get one of those? Like if you get the 1080, would you then turn around and get the 1080 Ti when that comes out?
It's hard, eh? Because look, a few years ago, tech was I thought, I was like, hey man, tech's pretty cheap. You know, you got a couple of $100 for a 4-core overclockable. You pay $300-400 for a graphics card. You know, it's not that expensive a hobby. But now, like, you're getting what? Like, let's be honest, you got what? Like $500 CPUs, or you know, $400 CPU. Now you got $200 motherboard. You've got now like, and then you're gonna have this. It's gonna be like $1,000. It's like tech's slowly becoming a more expensive hobby. I'll tell you that. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, it is, and we're seeing. I think we're seeing like. You think we're seeing stuff coming out like a lot quicker now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It seems, at least with, especially with like Intel. Like Intel's like on like, what are they on now? Like a 3-month cycle. It seems like sometimes, like every like 3 months. Every 3 months they're coming out with a brand new line, and then like the overclocked version of that line.
Well, I'm really keen to see what they've got with their 6-core on the next, you know, Broadwell. That's what I'm really looking out for with that. That'll be awesome.
Broadwell is going to be interesting. I'm still not 100% sure like which CPU I'm going to get, or if I'm going to get one. I will probably end up upgrading the motherboard though, and like my case and all that stuff, and like for 1080s and SLI.
I really liked what they did with the 5820K. That was, you know, the enthusiast line at least, you know.
So
that was
let me ask you this: this is maybe kind of a little bit off topic, but when the new Intel chips come out, if you upgrade and get like a new Intel chip, what are you planning on doing with your personal system? Are you going to do like whole new case and new custom water loops on everything?
Yeah, like if I do a whole new system, I'll probably just sell Unicron, you know. And,
no, you can't get rid of the dual Xeon rig. You got to keep that around.
It does look pretty cool, though.
I mean, you can't get rid of that just for a 6-core.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, 6-core is just like, you can't get rid of that just for a 6-core. You can't get rid of Unicron.
I know. I'm growing every day. I'm growing more attached to this rig. It is getting sentimental.
It's your baby.
But what happens if I have to pack up shop or something? What happens? I can't. It's heavy, man. I can just like, hey guys, I'm going, and they're like, I've got my backpack, and I don't even have a backpack. I've just got this massive rig strapped to my back. All right, guys, I'm going. Where's your clothes? Don't need clothes. Where I'm going. I'm going to the man cave.
All right, Brian. I think
anyway.
I think it's about time, because I think everyone is here to see the great 1070 debate.
All right, everyone
The Nerf job.
All right, everyone's here to see it. The 1070, the great debate. So you're on team. It's not a nerf. You're on team. It's a buff.
I'm on team buff. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on team.
Right.
I'm okay. Here's where I'm coming from. Let me just make my case real quick.
Yeah.
My case is that, like, I understand where you're coming from, that as far as the scaling of performance going from generation to generation is not as good as we saw in previous ones. Yep. But I still think the performance that we're seeing, you know, being around Titan X stock speeds, I know that's not overclocked.
Can we stop you there? Can I just stop you there? Can we please stop talking about a Titan X? No one buys a Titan X. If you're a tech price performance enthusiast, you do not buy a Titan X. You buy a 980 Ti. Let's talk about a 980 Ti versus a 1070.
They're basically the same thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just stop talking about a Titan X altogether. I don't even know why people talk about Titan X. So they just, rehashing what Jen said at that conference. Is that all they're doing? You know, let's talk about a 980 Ti, the card that people are actually buying or actually bought. Let's talk about that versus a 1070 before we even get into this debate.
Fine, it's fine. I mean, to me, the Titan X or the 980 Ti kind of pretty much go hand in hand. But either way, it's still performing as good as a stock, let's say, a stock 980 Ti.
Yeah.
But obviously, if the 980 Ti is overclocked, and some of them can get up to like 1500 megahertz, I mean, I can usually sit mine around 1450 comfortably. So, you know, if you're getting up to 1500 on water, like, yeah, it's going to blow the 1070 away.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I got mine up to around 14. I forgot exactly, but I've already sold mine, you know, over a month ago, right? And I got mine up to, and basically I overclocked mine to the point where it's getting over 20,000 in that graphics score in Firestrike. So it was a beast, man. And this time around, you've got these 1070 scores being leaked, but they're actually, technically, they're overclocked scores, man. You know what I mean? Because when you go up to 1860 megahertz, you only have a little bit more headroom, right? From what we're seeing is people are only getting these cards up to 2.1, right? 2.1. So, you know, what's left in the tank for a 1070 once you start clocking it to 1860 megahertz? And so, you know, and a lot of, like, I'm going to say this straight away. Is the 1070 going to be good value for money at $380? Yes. I've got no complaints there. I've got no complaints. It's going to be a good card. I'm going to be recommending it to people as well. Does that change the fact that I'm disappointed with it? No. I'm disappointed with this card. And I'm disappointed.
I think that's just based on where you set your expectations, though. No.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I draw in everything I do in life. I draw a line. And now them enabling 15 clusters as opposed to 16, that was the friggin' line for me. They cut it down too much this time around. And it's like, enough's enough. I just make my stance now. I'm disappointed with it. If they enabled 16 and we got 2048 CUDA cores, I would have been happy with it.
See,
I would have said that's fair.
Yeah, see, I know you're not happy about the CUDA cores getting cut down, but you also have to remember that they're going to be more efficient this time around on Pascal as well over Maxwell.
Yeah, but we're talking that's what I mean. I'm not comparing it to anything else though. People are taking like what I'm saying out of context. I'm not comparing Pascal CUDA cores to other generations. I'm comparing Pascal cores to its bigger brother, the 1080, and how much it's been cut down by this time around compared to previous releases of the X70 and X80 cards. That's all I'm doing. And it's like, you know, I guess a lot of people just misunderstood me maybe. And you know, it's you know, and like the people who understood me and disagreed, I really like those comments. Like, nah, man, I disagree. I think it's still going to be a great card or whatnot. And yeah, it is still going to be a great card. I'm just as personally as me as a person who always bought the X70 card. This time around, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. Because
it's going to be that much behind a 1080. And it's like when you get into graphics, you generally pay a premium as you get to that higher end, right? If we look at the 1080 Ti, or say, for instance, if we look at the 980 Ti versus the 970, you're paying a big premium, right, for an extra 50% performance. Could you disagree?
No.
Okay, so you're paying that big premium, right? But, you know, this time around, you're not paying a big premium for that 1080 performance, that extra gain. You're not paying that massive premium that you're paying, for instance, on a 980 Ti versus a 970, sorry. So,
do you think maybe that Nvidia saw that what happened with the 970 and the 980, where, you know, people realized the 970 overclock was pretty much beating a 980 or at least tying it, and there was no reason to really go out and spend the extra money on it. So they said we need to cut back the 70s more a bit.
Of course they did. That's exactly what they did. I mean, look, if you're going to give someone a taste of something and then you just cut it off, what do you think's going to happen? That person's going to get pissed off. That's exactly what I got pissed. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, just like they gave me a taste with the 970 and it's like, nah, you guys can't have it good. We're just here's your Nerf. That's what I'm saying. So that's just my opinion about it all. You know, like at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit, right? It's like, okay, get back to doing what I do best, you know.
Yeah, and what's up? We got Adored TV in the chat. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Oh yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'd love to have him on the show, hear his thoughts. Actually, he's got some really good content coming out later.
Yeah, I've been talking to him. We're gonna get him on the show eventually. He's just waiting to get his audio issues sorted out. So hopefully it shouldn't be too much longer, and we'll get him on the show at some point.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
yeah, the next
well,
thing. Sorry.
Well, did you want to talk about more? Like, I thought it was going to be a great debate, but that's. I've said everything I want to say.
Was that more of a mediocre debate?
It was like kind of like we didn't have really any conflict there. We both agreed with each other, which kind of.
Well,
sucked.
I guess we're shit talking around show now.
Like I was hoping we kind of flick up some beef this week, but.
I guess what happened was like we had the discussion on the video, and then also we had the discussion on Twitter. So this was kind of bringing that all together.
Okay, well, I mean, the week's not complete without some kind of beef, you know.
Well, I still okay. If you want some beef, the 1070 is going to be better than anything that you could ever dream about, Brian. If you don't agree with me, go kill yourself. That's
there we go.
Beef. Go kill yourself. Go choke to death on Marmite.
Right, I'm just gonna go watch Filthy Frank video and then just take his advice, you know.
You could just go watch Filthy Frank.
Yeah. So when people troll me like that, a lot of the times I've just been linking them that video, and then they just laugh. And then yeah, and then they just laugh, and then they're like, "Oh man, I don't hate you anymore." I'm like,
all about that dab life.
Dab life. So
that
yeah, what
much.
do we got here? GTX 1080s. Like I think the theme this time around is LEDs all over the place. I mean,
On motherboards and graphics cards
yeah.
everywhere, everyone wants
Mm.
RGBs.
I mean, I personally don't really want RGBs. I'm not that big of a fan. Like just saying.
I
Especially if it's going to
agree.
raise the like, especially if they're going to charge like an extra $20. Oh, it's got RGB LEDs. Pay an extra $20, dude. Like that's the consensus. Especially when you look at those mechanical keyboards, right? RGBs, and you know how much some of those keyboard manufacturers mark it up because of just the fact that it's got RGB lighting. It's like,
You know what? I'd rather see them focus their attention into giving me like an all-in-one, like a hybrid cooler that's all contained within the card without like tubes and all that stuff. That's like really quiet and low profile rather than having RGB lights. I'd rather see that than focus on that. That'd be better.
that would kind of be a very very fat card if you were to do it. You'd kind of
That's
have
why I
to.
said low profile. No, they
Yeah.
need to please everything that I just said.
Yeah, you'd still have tubes, but it'd kind of be like reverse mounted where your fans would be on the bottom blowing air out, and then you'd have like, I don't know, this kind of, maybe you'd even
Even
have this sucking noise or something. I don't know.
or maybe what if they even like combine like the benefits of like blower style cards with non-blower style cards? Combine the two.
What if? What if?
What if, man?
Yeah.
Like
Man,
I think that's going to be ACX 4.0.
yeah.
We'll see that in the 1080 Ti's, yeah.
So, well, that's it. So,
Well, that's the only card we don't see pictured is EVGA's ACX card. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like.
yeah.
The colorful water blocks look good though.
Well, hopefully. I mean, maybe they're just like, all right, everyone's going RGBs. We got to stick some RGBs on there, and they're just sticking strips of RGB lighting on there. All right, here's a.
Yeah, they probably had a prototype that was just all black, which
Yeah.
I would have liked, and then they
Yeah.
said, wait, everyone's doing RGBs. We need to add RGB.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the Zotac backplate LED there. That actually looks pretty good.
But did you see the naming of this card, the PGF, which stands for Prime Gamer Force? I'm sorry, I just wouldn't want to own anything called Prime Gamer Force. I would just
Yeah.
feel like a tool owning anything that looked like that.
Whenever I think like PG or anything, I think of golf, like PGF Pro Golfing Flogger.
Yeah, I can't.
Alright, so-
I can't say that I'm enthused about these Zotac cards here. Those are
Yeah,
not
I
really
thi-
doing
yeah.
it for me.
Pro Golfing Flogger.
The Galax card is interesting. They mentioned here is like if you were wondering what the $599 cards look like, that's it, and that's basically what I had pictured in my head too. It's those plastic cooler blower style cards that are like that I remember back from like Fermi and stuff like that. That
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
run
yeah,
like
just-
ovens, so like the old
And you
Fermi
have it-
coolers.
Not only that, you whack it in, you're like, what's that overpowering noise? And you put your finger on the GPU fan, and it's like, oh, that definitely was it.
Does anyone smell melting plastic?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, that's what you're getting for $5.99, brothers.
That's what when those things would get hot, like if you had it overclocked, it would smell like a Blockbuster video like VHS case that was left in the car in the middle of the summer. Like, and then you just opened it up, it's like, oh my god, it's just like hot plastic smell. And that's basically what those coolers smell like after you use them.
But honestly,
amazing.
if something like that comes out and it's not price gouging here, that's probably what I'll get, because then I'll just take that freaking cooler off
That sure
and
sucks.
I'll whack something water on it, like something ghetto, and then we'll get my cheap water cooling rig done.
Is that the plan?
That's the plan. So yeah, Galax might have had me covered all along, man.
But yeah, if you're just gonna rip the cooler off, then you may as well just get that thing.
Yeah, and then I can I don't know, maybe
And it's got a
attach-
Joker face on it.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, and then I'll attach a rope to it as well and swing it around like a cowboy.
Oh god.
Check out my new 1080.
And then you'll have a new meme made of you for the Text Syndicate forum.
Oh yeah.
Of you with the water loops.
You got to dance with your water loop, man.
Everyone's got to dance with their water loop.
Especially when you fail with it.
All right, so we're going to be going into AMD topics, but before we do, why don't we make AMD great again? So you guys get yourself a shirt, like the one I'm wearing right here.
Wait, what are we going on to? Oh, yeah. So
AMD
AMD.
shirts.
So, actually, I'm looking forward to this as well. So they're finally on June 1st. It looks
But
like
Brian,
they're announcing.
Brian, first we're plugging the shirt though. You're skipping over the
Okay.
whole shirt advert.
All right, Jogan's plugging the shirt. I'm just going to get a texter out and write, hey, make AMD great
He's still got to get a shirt. If you guys want to get a shirt, tweet it to us, and we're going to show it on like every week on during the Q&A. We already got a bunch of orders in for the shirts, but so far no one's like tweeted out pictures of them to us. So if you ordered one and you get it in, tweet it to us, and then the following week on like during Q&A we'll show it on the show or something and give you a shout out. So
Yeah, it's just
links
you know,
below though if you want to get a shirt still.
yeah. So Joker's just become a salesman. That's all.
I'm trying to sell the shirt, man. You got to make AMD great again. We got to get the message out there.
None of the proceeds go towards AMD.
Well, no, they go towards us, and we're gonna spread the word of making AMD great again.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Let's move on down to the announcement.
Because their marketing is just so bad that you by wearing an AMD shirt, you're helping spread the word of AMD. So you're helping market them.
Just don't worry, guys.
No, it says TGW on the back, though. It does have the TGW logo on the back of the shirt.
Yeah, to make Tech Gaming Weekly great again.
Yep, pretty much. TGW great again.
Anyway, yeah. So what do we got here? Announcements, right? Announcements. This is always a good thing when we're all hanging out to see what AMD is going to do, right? So, I mean, Nvidia have announced their upcoming GPU. They're coming out tomorrow, yeah. So 27th tomorrow, the 1080 is going to hit the shelves. But a lot of people are like, AMD, you've got to announce something, and I agree. They've at least got to announce something to let us know what's coming. If not, it's going to be another case of Nvidia just taking all the market share again. So
that's not going to happen though, because AMD is going to be great again.
That's it. Well, that's what. Yeah.
And it's all going to start on June 1st. That is Genesis Day. That is the day when AMD becomes great again.
Yeah. But can I say all our 1070 debates and all this stuff is coming out because of paper launches. I hate paper launches, and I've said this in the past. Freaking hate paper launches. I just like, bang, it's out. Go deal with it, people. That's what I like.
So you're not trying to get that paper?
Well, are we talking about like I don't know, what kind of paper are we talking about? Tissue?
Like paper launches. Like getting that paper from paper launches. Them white sheets.
Oh, I'm trying to get them Benjamins. Like, am I trying to be a thug? Thug life.
That's it. You finally got there.
I gotta get that paper.
Don't get too much paper though. Yeah. You might trigger me.
Okay.
I'm already starting to feel a little bit triggered here because I'm not feeling the love for AMD in the 1070.
What, from me? From my behalf? You're not feeling the love.
I'm not feeling the AMD love.
I'm really looking forward to what AMD has got in the pipeline now, because
what about Zen? Are you we saw some rumors this week also that talking about Zen performance being like close to like 5960X possibly on their 8-core chip.
Yeah, the biggest concern I have there is they start talking APUs. It's like, I'm not interested in an APU. I'm interested in that raw CPU. You know what I mean? That upgrade to the FX series CPUs. That's what I'm interested in.
The APUs could be good too if they're getting a bump up, to be on the AM4 motherboards, which will be good. Having PCI 3 DDR4 support, so they could get a lot better, especially considering that the APUs do rely on memory speeds. So having DDR4 and being able to get that overclocked, maybe even 3,000 megahertz pretty easily, it could be good.
I mean, they're definitely good for people who could utilize them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to use one. Are you going to use an APU?
I wouldn't use one in my personal rig, no, because I need something more task oriented, like an Intel chip or maybe Zen, if those are as good. For
that's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't mean I wouldn't want to test it though for people.
That's what I mean. I'm looking forward to the actual raw CPU announcements with Zen. You know what I mean? That architecture. So.
Well, I think the APUs are exciting too. I would want to test those just as much. I was planning to do an APU build. So, if they roll out the AM4 motherboards in time for when I was planning to do that, then I'll probably do that.
If they're gonna beef up those APUs to Kingdom Come, then yeah, I'll be interested in doing like you said, an all APU build if they're getting a massive buff. And it sounds like they are, but I mean, still, I'm interested in that CPU, that raw CPU. That's what a lot of people are interested in. Like, can we, legitimately have an AMD, all AMD rig that kicks ass? Is that a possibility?
I think so. Polaris teamed up with an APU for Crossfire.
All right, are we going on to the next topic? All right. So yeah, they're announcing this at Computex. Was it 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. CST? Yeah,
they're going to be doing the live stream over on their website too. So if you go to amd.com/Computex, you can watch the whole live stream. This June 1st at 10 a.m. Central Time. So Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks really good. I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, that's awesome.
He is. Yes, and
You'll-
and we've got the numbers also here, the rumored numbers, the
Yep.
ones that you should take with a massive grain of salt. The numbers on the 480 and 480X and Crossfire, which is I guess hopefully what we'll see announced maybe at Computex. If now these numbers are they have no like weight to them at all, but
Yeah.
if they're true, what do you think about the performance here, coming
Like
in like behind the Fury there?
Which slide have you got up? I don't have that pulled up.
The video
Oh.
cards page with the
Did you link us? Okay, hang about.
This one here.
480x benchmarks. Sorry, that's that little sneaky bugger slipped past me.
Yeah, so it's showing on there. It's showing it would be the 480X presumably on the 3D Mark graphics score coming in just behind Fury and just ahead of the 980. So if those are coming out at like what they're talking about the price, what is that going to be like under $400?
Wait, what the hell? Let's have a look here. 480X. I see. They've pulled up 18,000 on the graphics score. Wow.
This is a massive like rumor though. Like the video cards almost didn't even want to publish these numbers, but people asked them to.
Well, it says advanced micro devices there, and then it's generic VGA. Yeah, and it's got here core clock 1266 megahertz.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So,
if they're true.
Yeah, if they're true, but I mean, yeah, if they're true, then that's a damn impressive score, depending on what it's coming in at market, you know what I mean? So that I guess that remains to be seen what AMD is going to do with the pricing then. So
this would wet your whistle, but the 1070 wouldn't?
If that was $300, yeah.
If the 480X is $300, then yeah, if it's coming in right behind Fury, then that would be great. If it's $300.
Yeah, that's a big if. So I mean, remains to be seen, man.
You're going to see the prices on it. But still got to take these numbers for what they are and not give them full credit yet. But if it could be good.
Yeah,
I just want to see these damn cards already. I'm so sick. Like you said, man, the paper launches and all that stuff. And I'm so sick of the speculation already. I just want to see these damn cards already.
Yeah, because I mean, especially for me, I've had a lot of arguments in comment sections. Like I'm just over. I'm over it already. Hey, like this is all because of goddamn paper launches, you know.
Yeah, and these are all synthetic benchmarks, like people are saying. I was seeing that a lot also in the chat and on comments on the videos. It's like, I know I don't want to see just I don't want to see just 3D Mark scores either, but at the same time, it can be a good gauge because you could see where it is falling in line with other cards because it's all being tested on the same thing. So
yeah,
it's
that's
not
what I mean.
Real world game performance, but you could still find out where it falls in line.
And that's it. And for everyone I've argued with already, can you guys see the real enemies now? The real enemy is the paper launch. That's the real enemy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So.
All right. So moving on to lighter news, GTA 5 and GTA 6 and Red Dead Redemption 2 possibly coming out soon.
Yeah, but it says in the title GTA 5. It's like,
I don't know why.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so basically the big deal here is that they suggested an earnings revenue split. And with that, they said, okay, since they've suggested a revenue split deal, and they haven't actually confirmed that deal, it's looking like Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to come out with the next fiscal year. So April 1st.
This year.
Yeah, and that's a fair call. That's a fair rumor. So that's speculation. Obviously, they could sign a deal anytime they want, technically, and get the games out. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's going to come out next year or?
I think we'll probably they're going to be announcing some big things at E3 this year. They've talked about that already. So I think they're going to have a really strong showing this year at E3, and we're going to probably see quite a lot. But we still won't get the game until next year, I think. But that'll give us plenty of time to get way overhyped about a new Red Dead Redemption game, which I will be on board for day one. And I'm already on the train. I'm already on the platform waiting with my ticket to go ride the Red Dead Redemption hype train because the first game was amazing. And I have no reason to not believe that it won't be amazing again because Rockstar just has a proven track record of putting out great titles. Like like LA Noire, I wasn't really too thrilled with that, but other than that, it's like all their other games are amazing.
Well, dude, I mean, just jumping into GTA 5 was just like, wow, this is good, you know?
Yeah.
You've got everything in this game. You've got thug life, you know. You've got hustling. It's just all there. And then you've
all
got
there.
also, and like I've got to say with Rockstar, man, what they did with GTA 5 and the score, like, come on, you jump in a car and it's just like these just amazing tracks going on in the radio. It's just like, I love that, eh? Like, I was just playing that with headphones on, and just like, you just felt like you were there in ways. I don't know, especially at 4K.
I'll ask you this: what was the best Grand Theft Auto game for you?
Number five, easy.
5, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
five. Just, I mean, my brother, he said like, was it San Andreas?
I would have gone with Vice City. I like Vice City.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, everyone's saying different ones, but yeah, GTA 5 for me was just freaking, it topped it all. I loved it. I was just like, wow.
I know a lot of people that absolutely hated 4, and they couldn't connect with the character, and they thought he was a little bit gloomy.
Yeah,
I love GTA 4 though. I thought it had a great story.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as 5.
No, it wasn't as good as 5. No way. But
So.
yeah,
The 6 man, like,
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to see them do the 3 characters again though in a game. I'd like to see them go back to focusing on one character maybe.
No, I loved it though. I connected with all 3 characters though. I loved that. Like, that was actually really good thing.
I mean, I liked all 3 characters too, but I don't know. I didn't really feel like a need for it. I would have rather just had one focused story. I don't know. That was me.
No,
I don't know. I just maybe I like the ways of the past.
okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah. So, but either way, like, Rockstar have been putting out some killer titles, and the fact that they're like, look, we're not going to rush these games. I love that as well. I got even more respect for them there. So, like, lately the amount of titles that just get rushed. Can we, what comes to your mind when you think of rush title? Call of Duty.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Call of Duty, Arkham Knight,
Yeah. It's like, we've got to get these
Arkham
out, man.
Origins.
Yeah, they just end up being just terrible.
The Ninja Turtles game we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, yeah, hats off to Rockstar.
All right, let's move on though. We've still got a bunch of topics left, and we've got to do a good amount of Thrones talk later on in the show.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, can you agree that Rockstar's rock steady?
they are pretty rock steady with their production lineup. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got this. I'll let you take this story. You had this one up with the Google chip, the new
Well,
Skynet
I was
chip.
gonna take it away, but TweetTown's website is not freaking working for me. So, but I was gonna say, like, isn't it scary that AI is becoming? Oh, here it is. It's finally working now. But okay, so isn't it scary that AI is coming more of a reality every day? Like, that just scares me. That's what I was like, wanted to pull that up, and like, Google's now making their own chip exclusively for AI. And this kind of, I don't know.
Chips. And it's small. It's like on a really small scale too. It could fit in a standard hard drive bay. They said.
I know. You imagine plugging that into your computer, and now it starts shaking and rattling and blowing sparks at you. Like,
You've been watching too many movies, mate.
I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared. How about you?
I want to know how well it plays chess, and then
It's gonna play-
I'll be able to make a determination from there.
It'll play chess pretty well.
You sure?
Yeah. It'll just beat anyone. It'll be the chess master. Yeah.
I'd have to.
So anyway, yeah.
I'd have to see if it could beat my dad. My dad's pretty good at chess, so I'd have to see if it could beat my dad. Then I'd be convinced.
So.
And then,
But yeah,
then it's time to worry.
Okay. Well, yeah. So they're making their it's exclusive for AI, and it's all meant to be an order of magnitude faster than conventional processors. So it's similar power requirements. So that's what Google's doing. They're focusing their efforts on that. There's not much more to the article, but yeah.
Yes, this is my extremely excited voice.
Yeah. Well, do you just want to move on? Because there's not much here anyway. So,
I want to talk about this next thing. I think you do too, actually. This is what I was excited to get to this story about this keyboard here.
This is insane. I was going to say, like, I would have liked this to have been the first topic. This was incredible. Yeah. So there's a Kickstarter. You take this way. You were like, you were more excited.
There was, okay, so there's a Kickstarter that just went up for this keyboard, and they've already surpassed their goal. I think they were trying to raise £30,000, and they've already surpassed. They were at like £55,000 last I checked before we started the show. So this keyboard, minimalist design, all that, and basically what it is an analog keyboard. Now, what would the benefits be of an analog keyboard? Well, we could see the switch right here that they're using, and then you could see underneath this bar, which is representing the force that's actually being applied by the keyboard. So this would allow you to have pressure sensitive movements on a keyboard. So if you were maybe like playing a racing game or something like that, then you can actually control the speed of your vehicle, which previously you could only do on like a controller with the analog buttons. So actually being able to do that on a keyboard would be pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, so let's say, for instance, if you're walking in a game and you just press it down a little bit, now you're walking at a certain speed. Then you press the key down fully, you're now running. Like, it's insane to think that that's, that could come to, reality with a keyboard. So that's essentially what they're working on with this analog keyboard. A very interesting design. I just don't know how it's going to be properly implemented, right? Like, you plug it in and your computer's just going to crash, or, like, it's just like, wow, it seems like a nightmare to get through the drivers, wouldn't it? Like,
well, there's I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if they could pull it off. I would definitely want to try. Like, even even if they end up failing, I was telling you earlier, like I still want to try it because it sounds incredible. They're even talking about pressure-based macros, so you could have a move maybe like if you're playing a MOBA where you can kind of like start your move like on like maybe a half press, and then have the move actually execute itself and finish the maneuver when you have bottomed out the key. So you could have pressure-sensitive based macros, which could have really massive implications for MOBAs. And the first thing you said to me was like, "Do you think they'll get that banned for competitive play?"
Yeah. That's what my concern was. And if this is actually a reality, right, they'd probably start banning these keyboards in competitive play because it would be considered an unfair advantage. I mean, that's just my guess. But what remains to be seen was how many points would there be? Like, for instance, you know what I mean? How many points would there be where things actuate, kind of thing?
Yeah, well, if it's I don't know if it's analog, wouldn't it be the entire thing just all the way through? It would just be a constant amount of pressure.
Yeah, but how would you then relate a macro to that? Say, for instance, if you press it down a little bit, you then macro your. Say, for instance, in a MOBA, right? You've got you can cast a spell that's certain amount of range.
Right.
So you press it down. Yeah, you press it down a little bit. You now got 200 range. Press it down a bit more. You're queuing up 400 range. Press it down almost all the way, 600 range, and then you like. It's hard to like sort of know how that's going to play out with the macros. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just it's kind of a little bit mind-boggling kind of thing. Like, how's it actually going to really work?
And if people were wondering about the switch types on this, they're not like a Cherry MX switch. They have there's a linear switch and there's a clicky switch, and they're calling it a red and a blue switch, which I guess that's just the color really, because the actuation force doesn't line up with what a Cherry MX red or blue would be, because they're both 55 grams on this design, but the actual design of it would be like a red and a blue though, where it's linear and clicky. So. Yeah. But other than that, it's not a Cherry MX switch, and the design minimalist. I like the minimalist design of it, and I don't have a picture up of it here, but on the back side, it looked a lot like my Woz keyboard, like with the routing on the back here with the three-way routing. So, looked like they're taking some design cues from other keyboard manufacturers. Not necessarily a bad thing.
Nah, it looks pretty clean. Like, I like it. Always like a clean-looking product, and hats off to them for getting it right. That looks clean. It looks good. I'm just trying to think, like, would it maybe if they went for a semi analog design straight up, that'd probably be better for a concept. Maybe, I mean, just to get it, see how it works and see how it really goes out there in the wild.
No, Brian, you're wrong. It's just balls to the wall, man.
All the way or no way, yeah.
All the way or no way. Yeah. There you go. That's what it is.
So right.
Dota 2 is going all the way. I know you're a big fan of Dota 2. What do you think about this update bringing in Vulkan support now for Dota? That's nice to see.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's there not to like? You've now got another API that can be utilized in this game. Awesome news. So, I mean, I run, Dota 4. I mean, Dota 2. Sorry, Dota 2 at Dota 4. Dota 2 at 4K on the 970 I've got here. Like, it's a really easy to play game. Like, when I've tested some of those potatoes play it absolutely fine, man. At 60 FPS at 1080p. I think even the $15 PC that I did, when I put that graphics card in, that was playing Dota 2, dude. Like, so I'm kind of like, do people really need Vulkan on Dota 2? That's kind of what I'm thinking in the back of my mind. But I mean, hey, if you've got the ultimate potato, you may just be able to run this game smoothly now. That's
maybe if you're on a CPU bound system, it could maybe help you out a little bit there. And I still just want to see how Vulkan's going to perform and handle overall. I'm still waiting for that update to come for Doom, where they'll add in the Vulkan API update. I'm looking forward to just testing it and seeing, how big of a difference does it make going between DX11 and that.
That's true, yeah. Just comparing them head to head, that would be awesome to do, especially on like a really low end computer for Dota 2, because that's where it's really going to make the difference, right? It's for people that are having a hard time playing this game. How much of a difference is it going to make for them? So I've got potatoes lined up here for days, so I might test this on a potato and do the results. Would people like to see that?
I would like to see it, Brian.
Okay. Right. If you want to,
I speak for me.
okay. Well, yeah, we'll line it up on a potato and then we'll play it.
Yeah.
So, what budget? $50?
I'm not. People are saying in the chat I'm collapsing. Like, no, I yawned.
I can't see you.
No, okay. So you were talking and I yawned, but I kept my mouth closed. And you know what? Like, if you do that, it makes your eyes tear. That's actually like how actors will make themselves cry, is by yawning with their eyes open and their mouths closed. So I accidentally just did that, trying to hide my yawn, and my eyes like instantly welled up, and I was like, "Oh my god, get these tears out of my eyes!" Craziness.
All right, look, don't collapse on stream though, man.
I'm not gonna collapse. My eyes were just watering up. It's fine.
Okay, but yeah, Dota 2. I mean, like, it's funny. They made it just a huge patch, and I'm still getting used to it. Like, there's just some, basically what it is. Like, there's, I mean, I think there's a hero called Rogue Knight or Sven. And he's just so overpowered now with this new item. It's like this Echo Saber. And like, it's just overpowered at the moment. You just get that, you pop his ulti, and then like you double hit, someone's basically dead. Like insta-kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
So we also got the driver from AMD, which is also helping with Dota 2 as well. You were saying earlier, right? And Overwatch. This is the 16.5.3 Radeon Crimson software update. So got to get that if you're playing Overwatch on AMD. I did download that driver the other day when I tested for the 370. I picked it up. Seemed all right. It seems stable, I guess.
It's good that AMD are bringing out frequent updates on drivers as well. So like they're catching up with those sort of day one releases or near day one. I mean, not they don't.
No, this was up. This was up the day before Overwatch came out. Actually.
Okay.
Well, yes. At least that was the published date. Like all the websites started picking it up the day Overwatch came out, but it was actually published the day before.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So that's awesome then. So yeah, AMD's getting on their game with the drivers. I love it.
Keep it up. Both them and Nvidia, both sides need to just keep that up. And I mean, Nvidia has a pretty good track record of it. AMD in the past not. So it's good to see them catching up there.
Yeah.
We also got some look at some new Gigabtye X99 motherboards. The RGB flavor continues that we all love so much because that's what I wanted in my new X99 motherboards is RGB. That's the reason to upgrade, man.
Yeah, so I mean, like, look, guys, you got to go out and spend X amount of money for RGBs now.
All right. Well, in all seriousness, no, these boards, well, without the RGB lighting, I think they look okay. I think the connectivity is going to be the interesting thing to look at here. They're going to have 5 PCI 3 X16 ports, 4 USB 3, 2 USB 3.1, and 1 USB 3.1 Type C, and DisplayPort 1.4, which can do up to 8K. And they're talking like you'd be talking about like 4K 120 hertz. You'd be able to do over that. That's interesting to see that on the motherboards.
I mean the specs look pretty good, but like that DisplayPort, is that coming from the iGPU? And it's like, well, an iGPU is generally going to be pretty weak anyway. So I'm a little bit confused about that. I got to research more about that. Like, yeah. But I mean, like, to be honest, man, I think these boards look pretty bad. Like these.
I would like to see them get rid of the blue. I mean, if they did one in like a black and white color scheme, I would like it without the colors and without the RGB. I think it would look pretty cool. Or an all black model would be really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they're doing with the PCI lanes, how they're putting that silver on them, but like just the text on that amp up audio, it's like like.
You could usually leave those off. They usually come off, and you have to put them on anyway.
Sanding block for the win.
There you go. They have this design that went back on. It was on the previous X99 boards. It looks kind of like a racing theme.
I thought it was like a Gundam theme.
A Gundam.
Yeah, that old school Japanese robot thing. Like, yeah, this is a Gundam edition G1, Gundam 1.
Yes. All right. So nothing else. I don't have anything else to add on these motherboards. Do you?
No.
Okay. Ninja Turtles. 30 FPS.
30 FPS.
Dude, the Nerf is real on this one. This is the real Nerf here. I picked this up yesterday. on Steam, and I downloaded it. I was like, I'm going to play this. Platinum Games has a good track record with me. I liked Bayonetta, I liked Vanquish, I liked the recent Transformer game, and I was hoping that this would be good as well. And the trailer looked really interesting for it. Like, oh, it's got Krang, Bebop, and Rocksteady. But unfortunately, this was not a Rocksteady launch for them because it's just runs at 30 FPS capped. The game is like supposedly only 3 hours long, and from what I played of the missions, they were just horrible. Just really, just generic missions. And a lot of it seemed like reused assets from the last Transformers game.
Did you just say 3 hours long?
3 hours.
Wow. What a joke. Did you get a refund?
And yeah, I got a refund. I played and I captured some gameplay in case I wanted to do a video on it, and then I got the refund.
just buy the new Turtles and refund it.
And it would be one thing if this was like like a $15 or a $20 game, but it's not. It's like a £40 game. It's like a full price game. I think it's $50 for the full thing. I think it was 50 or 40. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, 3 hours, 30 FPS. I mean, what's their obsession with threes? Like, you see where I'm going with this? Is like they're just trying to say Half-Life 3 confirmed?
Maybe.
I don't know, man. That's terrible news. Hey, like I was actually hoping for this game to be awesome. That's the thing. Remember we were talking about it before, like how many months ago? And we're like, oh man, looking forward to this.
It really wasn't that long ago actually, because the Transformers game didn't come out too long ago. Yeah. And so it feels like that's why it feels like this was kind of rushed. Like that's why I think they reused a lot of assets and stuff.
What a letdown! What a letdown! So
people are saying I'm dropping FPS. I don't know what you mean. I mean, I could see on the stream it looks like I kind of go slow.
Yeah,
but I don't know
stuttering.
what's causing that.
You're stuttering, bro.
I don't know. I don't know what would be causing that.
Did you up the exposure on your camera too much?
You think that's it?
Well, might be it, man. If mine's smooth, so it's just your camera. So let's talk about Microsoft. Do you want to talk about Microsoft and layoffs?
Go ahead and take that away. I'm going to try to fix my camera here.
Okay, so they acquired Nokia, and things aren't going too well for them with that Nokia business. You know, they had to write off 7.6 billion, but 7.2 billion of that was the acquisition in that financial year. But this time around, they had to, write off 950 million. So it was then that they said to themselves, Microsoft were like, okay, the Nokia acquisition is a bad decision. It's a bad decision. So now they're pretty much cutting off further 1,850 jobs. So that's what they plan now, and more layoffs, and more people lose their jobs. And
this is all because of Nokia. I mean, the massive failure of Nokia. I fixed my camera now, by the way. It should be good now. You're right. It was the exposure was too damn high. The exposure was too damn high.
Straight away, man.
We should be good now. Now we're buttery smooth. Whoa, buttery smooth frame rates. All right. But yeah, so basically Nokia is basically a failure because they have failed to develop Snake as a advancing IP. I think that's where they went wrong with Nokia, right? Is because they didn't develop Snake any further. They just stopped at Snake 2, I think, and that was it. They needed to go Snake 3.
Snakes, yeah.
Snake 3. Can we get a Snake 3 confirmed, maybe? I mean, everyone's waiting for Half-Life 3. Personally, I'm waiting for Snake 3.
Just buy a Nokia phone because it's got a snake on it, and then you got the game. Yeah. That's it. I would love to see that.
Yes. You know what I'd like to see?
What?
Oculus Rifts not being sold at Best Buy.
Are you... This is where the great debate begins. Are you knocking Best Buy?
I'm not... Yeah, I am. I'm knocking Best Buy for selling... Well, I'm knocking Oculus for even allowing Best Buy to sell it. So I guess I'm really knocking Oculus and Mark Zuckerberg.
All right, can you just listen to me for a sec? When I was in the States, I needed to get a quick fix, right? I was too far away from those real big destination places. I had to get a quick fix. And do you know who alleviated that quick fix? Do you know who gave me that fix?
If I do recall, it was Best Buy.
It was Best Buy, right? Yeah, so I needed to just look at some hardware. Look at a little bit of hardware. I didn't have to go the full Monty, but I needed my daily fix of just having a quick browse. Best Buy had me covered. Thank you, Best Buy. And I got corny salesman coming up to me, but they were still nice.
Did you get help by the Geek Squad?
I got help by the guy telling me that it's got an i7 in it, so it's the be all and end all. And I'm
Did
just
the
like,
Geek Squad tell you that you needed to upgrade to Windows 10?
I think they did.
I wouldn't be surprised, you cuck. Oh god. So yeah, so basically Oculus Rift, what happened was they put it up on the Best Buy website, so you were able to go ahead and order it right off of the website, and it's already sold out. They sold out, and they don't have any more in stock, and we don't know when they'll get more in stock. But yeah, and this is all amidst the fact that people that pre-ordered and people that buying on the Oculus Rift website, if you buy it on there, you probably would have you will get it quicker from Best Buy if you would actually pre-order the unit, which is BS for people that pre-order.
That's complete bull. That's complete bull, man. I don't agree with that. If you pre-order something, you should be getting it first. That bottom line, man. You know what are Oculus doing?
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
If you're gonna take a pre-order on something like that, you should have to fulfill those pre-orders before anyone else is allowed to get that product.
It's not only that, right? It's the people who pre-order it are your real, true fan base. They're the people who are like, they're really excited for the product. They like the company. They want to, like they're your real core segment of the people who you want to get it to anyway first. Like them doing this, I could understand if you pre-ordered it, you'd be livid.
Yeah.
You know?
And I would agree with Neo Voodoo Child, man. Just get a Vive at this point.
Well, yeah, that's it.
It's the more complete unit at this point, even though the Oculus has like more exclusives on it and better games and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be the way that it goes with Oculus's like exclusive like titles and stuff.
All right. So what are we doing now?
The Warcraft movie. Job's done.
So it looks like the job's done.
Does look like the job's done.
Yeah, it looks like it's done and dusted too. No. Like I don't know. I hope it's just one person's opinion. That's all.
No, this is not.
But it
one
looks.
person.
Yeah, I know. And
People's.
that's what I mean. Like and then you look at it. It's like no, it's actually a lot of different reports. And like oh no. Because I was really looking forward to this. I was
kind of looking forward to it also, but I also had a feeling it would have probably sucked. Just like I think the new Assassin's Creed movie is going to suck. Just because video game movies generally they suck. And that's what a lot of people are saying. This is like, it looks like a cheap, cartoon, like a cutscene out of the game made into a movie, which for like the massive production that it was with the huge budget they had, I would say is disappointing.
Dude, I'm butthurt now. I've been a bit of a Warcraft fanboy. Let's keep this on the D-Lo, but
there's no D-Lo about it, Brian. There's 342 people watching. There's going to be thousands watching during the week. I mean, it's out there now. The whole world knows. Yeah. Everyone needs to tweet about it. Brian's a Warcraft fanboy.
I was now. I don't know. If I see this movie and it is as bad as people say it is, I'm going to be like, no. Okay, so this is the word on the street, guys. Warcraft movie's bad, but that kind of sucks. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. But you can still get your free copy of World of Warcraft, so don't worry.
I'm sure however bad it is, I'm sure it's still not as bad as what Ghostbusters is going to be. I'm sure it's still not as bad as that.
I mean, look, I'll watch the Warcraft movie anyway. So
I would agree with that. The Batman Superman movie was pretty good. I enjoyed the movie, but it was like, as a person that read those comics that it was based on, it was soul crushing that they included all of that in one movie. It was so stupid, but it was still a pretty good movie, like you said. I think more people were just upset because of what they did, and the story, the way they told it, was so convoluted and mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, is this Batman vs Superman?
Yeah, Batman vs Superman.
I haven't seen it yet.
I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it a little bit. I mean, I like the action in it and stuff, but yeah, the storytelling in it was awful.
Okay.
It's really, really bad. Yeah. Yep. So next up on here, we've got a quick story about these AMD coolers here.
Yep.
And if people want to start getting their questions in the chat for Q&A, you guys can start firing them in there because we're going to be getting into that pretty soon. But this is just really quick, so all the coolers on previous AM3 and FM2 sockets, all those guys are going to be supported through AM4 now on the new motherboards when we start seeing those. So.
Yeah, especially with that new Wraith cooler. I mean, that's been getting a pretty good, pretty good reports out there on the internet. So it'd be good to see that you can use that. Yeah, well, you can use that on the AM4 platform as well. So I mean, AMD do really good things like this. So it's just one of those good things to see that they're enabling. They're just thinking about backwards compatibility kind of thing. So yeah,
that's just a quick PSA for that.
Yeah, not really much else to it there. So Netflix.
Yep. Netflix is our last topic before we get into Q&A and then eventually Thrones talk.
Yep.
Netflix has now reached a deal where they're going to be the exclusive carrier for Disney stuff. So that means Disney, Pixar, Lucasfilms, Marvel movies, and they've already been carrying a lot of that stuff. They've had the Marvel series. Well, my aircon just went and sounded like an engine.
I heard that, eh? Yeah, I was like, what's it doing?
We'll give that a second to calm down. If it doesn't, I'll turn it off, I guess. But yeah, so they've already been carrying like Marvel and Disney stuff for a while, but this is now making it exclusive to just them. So I'm curious to see what that would mean, though.
I think it's a terrible move, dude. Like, I mean, just proprietary crap, like anything that hints at, exclusivity in this case is just, I don't know, man. Like, unless you go on pay-per-view or something. Pay-per-view is different, right? You got top-tier talent, going at it, but I don't know, man. What are Netflix doing, like, with Disney? I mean, they would have had to be paying Disney a lot of money for this, eh?
Yeah.
And it's like...
Oh, they get the exclusive stuff on there, and it helps out Netflix a lot, and people want to go on there. I want to see what this is going to mean. Like, are they going to have, they're going to have the old catalog of Star Wars movies on there now, and the new Star Wars when it comes out, and all the series, and all the Disney movies, like all the full lineup of Disney films, are all those going to be on there? Because that's what I would want to see. If before they started locking down on people using VPNs, like the overseas, the European Netflix, they had some of like the classic animated films. So,
well, that's. I mean, I agree with what this guy's saying in the article. It's like they how many like when they're just going to keep chopping up different networks. So this service has got this show, this service has got this show, and it's like the list goes on. So it's just annoying, right? All your favorite shows are now becoming segmented across all different platforms, and it's like, ugh. What happens?
I don't really mind it because I don't need cable TV, and I would rather just have a couple of services like we got rid of cable. Like we have Sling, Netflix, Hulu, and like HBO Go. We have a few different services so we could watch the shows we want to watch, and it's more than enough to get us through what we need.
Yeah. Hey, are you looking at this? I'm looking at this Kylo Ren thing here. Like, you look at that slide there. I mean, he could just quickly like pull his lightsaber down and chop her fingers off.
Totally.
Like, what's going on, Ren? What are you doing? That's a noob shot. Because it shows how newbie Kylo Ren was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he had just had the chance there to quickly swipe it down, win the duel.
He could have.
Yeah.
Well, we got a first question in here. We'll start rolling to this now because I'm about to lose it. Question is for Joker. Would you say 78C with a fan speed of 90% on a unreferenced 980 Ti is too high? 78C at 90%? No, I mean, I'm willing to bet you probably don't need to have it at 90% because I notice, like I'm even on like reference cards, like once I get like the fans over 50%, I don't really see that much of a return as far as temperature drop off. I don't usually need to run it much higher than 50%.
Yeah. So did World of Warcraft get me divorced? Nah. I stopped playing WoW long before. I stopped playing World of Warcraft years and years ago, man. Like, actually, like, full on playing it. Can we get a video on overclocking the 5640? What I was thinking about doing that and LGA 775 as well in a live stream, because like a lot of people have been asking me about overclocking the 5640. I want to do it too. So I've got that motherboard that I cleaned up. I've got another E5640 lying around. So I will be doing a live stream when I get some time, and I'll just archive that, and that'll be like full live stream overclocking, so we can go through just step by step everything to do with overclocking those platforms. And I'd rather do it on a fresh, like a different motherboard, different CPU, so you guys can see how I diagnose problems and whatnot on the fly. And we should get it done in probably an hour. I don't know. Hopefully I can get both platforms done in an hour. That'd be awesome if I could. I know it's quick, but. Yeah.
Drake Owens wanted to know which third-party graphics card makers you prefer. I don't usually have like a preference, but I was thinking like about getting because the Founders cards are obviously not going to be amazing. Thinking about maybe the ACX3 cards just because of the fact that like even though it's like the big style fan design, it actually does blow the air onto over the PCB, like or at least on the ACX2 it did. So I don't know if they'll still be doing it on the ACX3. So presumably, if they are, that could be pretty good. But other than that, I've used MSI in the past. MSI is always really good. Their coolers are always pretty nice. What about you, Brian?
Which the AC? For me, I don't know. Like, depends on who's going to do the best model this time around. I find like different generations of graphics cards, you got different coolers that are awesome. Like, I was digging Gigabyte's coolers beforehand. You know, what about? So, yeah. What's up?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. I was just saying, is the i7 980X still relevant? Yeah, like if you overclock that thing to like, you know, whatnot, that's a 6-core, yeah? That thing's a beast. Overclock that to 4 gigahertz or more, and you should be having a jolly good time still with that CPU. Yeah, sorry, I was a Warcraft fanboy. Like nowadays, it's kind of like it's lost a bit of its magic that it had before. But yeah, like I was a Warcraft fanboy for sure.
No, I have not been using EVGA Precision. I've always preferred to use Afterburner, but I am intrigued by the new update that they have now. I don't know if that works on Maxwell cards, but it works like the AI suite, which I do use on Asus, which is quite nice, where it'll test your overclock to make sure it's stable. So that is something I do want to try out in the software, but usually I prefer the interface on Afterburner.
Yeah. Okay. I like Afterburner as well. Afterburner's great. It really is good. I got to ask, would you dual water cool your PC, like dual loop? I mean, look, dual loop is something that I would need to put a lot of money into. At the moment, I don't have a lot of money, so that'd be for a future project. Yeah, I would. But at the moment, I'm looking at getting like a single GPU, CPU, and like in one loop. Like that's my preference at the moment. So I'm going to get onto that, and hopefully I get something that works really well for pretty cheap, say $100 to $150. So, Joe, do you think the consoles will ever catch up to PCs?
No.
Not now,
unless,
yeah,
not
like,
unless they just make them fully moddable and allow people to do whatever they want, or just put like this, just stop all this tomfoolery and just admit that PCs are better.
yeah.
Let's see. Question for Joker: was there a release for the 1070's performance on Firestrike? Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier in the show. That was the only thing it was tested on with Firestrike. I did a video on it. We talked about it earlier in the show. Check the topic links.
Yeah, so is it worth upgrade from 97 to 1070? Like, again, the cards aren't released yet, but basing on those Firestrike scores, yeah, it's a good card. It's just like, it's like I said before, like we said in this 1070 debate, it's just less than what I expected from a X70 card compared to an X80 card. That's all. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's still going to be a good buy. Like, especially if it comes when it comes down to 380. Like, I think they're announcing that Founders Edition release first. If you can get one of them for 380, then it's going to be a good buy. Yeah, for sure. So,
nice. Let's see. Look for more questions here. Can console catch up to the PC mustard race? Never.
So,
is R7 going to bottleneck for 1080 or 1080 Ti? No, I would think not. I mean, I would like to have a 4770K ideally, but I don't think so.
Well, no, because you're going to be stepping it up to higher res, right? If you go over 1080 and play it friggin' 1080p, it's like, what are you doing? But if you dropping that thing up to
1440,
it's like it's going to be fun. Exactly. So, will you get a 1070 and drop it from a balcony? I mean, hey, if you guys want to sponsor it out, sure, I'll.
You'd have to have a manufacturer just contact you and say, we want to send you a card to drop off like the roof of like Nakatomi Towers.
Yeah, I mean, from my own pocket, it's like, nah, I'd be like just dropping 380 down the toilet, Well, more here. I mean, these cards are going to be arguably a lot more here. So, but yeah, I would like to get a 1070 in and test it. I really would.
Can't blame you there. All right, so questions are dying down here. Do we move on to Thrones Talk? Is it that time?
I think it's. I mean, yeah, the questions have died down. So yeah, I think.
All right, guys. So we are moving into Game of Thrones talk. Spoiler time for Game of Thrones. So if you guys do not want to hear any Game of Thrones spoilers, you can excuse yourself now, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching and everything. Don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and we'll catch all of you guys next time.
Yeah, so guys, now, warning, spoilers are coming. This is the Thrones Talk section, so if you guys haven't seen the Game of Thrones episode yet, or if you haven't seen it but you don't care, you like spoilers, then whatnot. But we're going to be talking about spoilers from here on in, so if you don't want the spoilers, just click down the browser and I'll check it later.
Yes, Doom is definitely worth buying as long as you're buying it just for the single player. So Game of Thrones this week. What did you think of it?
So good. So good. Like
Can you just hold the door?
That's it. Dude, can you just hold the door for a second while we just tell you how good that episode was? I mean, this is what I love about a series, right? When you start watching it and it's sort of it's good at first, but it just starts getting better and better. And that's what's happening with Game of Thrones this season. This is like by far the best season yet. And I mean, sure, when next season comes out, it'll be like it's the best best season next, but best next season. Whatever. When the next season comes out, that'll be the best yet. But I'm loving it, man. Loving it.
For me, the biggest thing was getting to see where the White Walkers came from. We got to see those tree elves or whatever you want to call them. They basically created the White Walkers to help them, but then they basically turned against them. And yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it. Like, you know, after watching that episode, I understand where that White Walker's coming from now, man. He got dealt the worst card in life. Poor guy. He was just this prisoner, and it's like, no, you're going to be our puppet now.
He got dragon shard. He got free dragon shards in his chest.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. He's the poor guy. Like, he just got owned. So I understand his plight now, man. He's angry at everyone. He just wants to kill everything and everything.
Well, yeah. He basically has now attached himself onto Bran, so he can they have some sort of like symbiotic relationship now. Like I think they're going to be BFFs.
No, he's got the hunter's mark on him or something. Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on there with that mark, but I mean, it answered that question of who the White Walker was, you know, the original.
Well, yeah,
and he's just a beast.
Well, it also showed that basically, you know, like Hodor is like, you know, is basically Bran's fault. Hodor is Bran's fault, and that also confirmed that the time traveling he's been doing is a closed loop, basically, where he's affecting he can affect things, but if he's affecting it, it's because he always affected it. Like the thing with Hodor, he didn't just do that. That had always happened. That was always the way it happened.
Exactly.
Which is why he was already affected. So
so it's like one of those paradoxes where it's whatever it is. Fringe. Have you seen Fringe, the drama? Kind of the same thing where it's always that loop. Yeah. Yep. That never changes. But what's interesting to see is he going to be able to walk again? Because he should be able to pull that off, right? He says to himself, "Look, he can change history, right? But if he makes it so that he cushions his fall, but he acts as if he's paralyzed until that point in time, then it should be fine, yeah? So he should. I would like to see him walk again. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'd like to see him be able to walk again, too.
Yeah, like, that makes a lot of sense if he can fake kind of being disabled, because he can go back now and change that event.
No, he can't go back and change the event because it's a closed loop.
No, it's not. But, like, he can change it so that he falls and everyone thinks he's, this and that, but he's faking it kind of things. You know what I mean?
No, he can't because it's a closed loop. He can't affect anything that wasn't already affected. That's how it works. Because like the thing with Hodor, he had always done that had always happened to him. So he can't just say, "I'm going to go back and change this to fix this." Like that's not how it works.
Hodor, hold the door.
Hold the door. That was like the hardest part to watch was Hodor. Like, and you're like, oh, it's like as it's happening, it's dawning, and you're like, oh, that's yeah. Bran's a dick. Like fuck you, Bran. Like this was all your fault, man. You basically like Hodor was a happy fat little kid, like just thinking about meat pies and cakes, and now he's basically just a babbling idiot for the rest of his life, worrying about holding doors open.
Yeah,
or closed, I should say. Hold the door.
Was it Bran? I don't think Bran affected. I think it was that other guy who affected him.
No,
like was it Bran who changed it? I thought it looked like the other guy.
It was because Bran was back there and he took control of Hodor at that time while he was there, so it affected him back then. Where basically the younger Hodor was experiencing the future events because Bran had took control of him while he was back there in that time. So okay. Bran was like working through young Hodor into old Hodor, so that's why he experienced all of it, and he had PTSD.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy though. I was just loving, I'm loving it, man. I can't wait for the next episode. I'm so whoa. Yeah, that picture you've got there is funny as hell too. I loved it when he looked at that chick. It was like,
oh yeah. Yeah, that look that's been memed everywhere was amazing, man. I want to see Tormund's got some serious game.
Yeah. So that's the romance I want to see develop.
Yeah, let's see him and Brienne get down. Yeah, get down.
It. What a boss.
All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get out of here, though, guys, because Brian's got to get going to work and stuff, and I'm going to go have some dinner.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get a curry or something like that, and fap to Tormund and Brienne anime porn. I'm gonna weeb it up.
All right, man. All right, fair enough. You got all your download with the pop culture. Are you gonna weeb it up?
I'm gonna weeb it up.
Yeah.
I need weeb porn in my life. That's why I subscribe to Crunchyroll.
Hey. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week for the. Are we announcing the giveaway? So when are we announcing the giveaway though? When are we announcing the winners?
The following week. It's the following week.
So it's not next week. So it's not next week.
It's the following week.
Okay. So next week will be our 1-year anniversary though.
The June 8th or June 10th. I gotta look at their calendar. Let me see. It's June.
But next week will be the 1-year anniversary.
No, June 8th is the 1-year anniversary. I was telling you, next week is episode 52, but we started the show on June 10th or whatever. So it's like technically it's like 52 is the week before the 1-year anniversary because that's how it works.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
It's just simple math, Brian. So it's the following week.
That's it.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week though for that episode, which is episode 52. Ta-da.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week. Peace out for now.
Bye.
Bye.